So, as a teacher, what do you teach at Alexander?
I teach human anatomy and physiology, environmental science. Both of those are CCP classes. I have traditional environmental science, and I have honors biology. Four preps.
Could you shed some light on what AMD sites are and how they pollute Monday Creek?
Yeah, AMD is probably the biggest threat to our water quality in southeast Ohio. So acid mine drainage, which is what AMD is, it gets formed when an abandoned coal mine is left to the elements and rainwater finds its way into a mine, either kind of percolating down through the top or sloshing in through the entrance. And there's something, interesting about the coal seams in southeast Ohio. The coal seams here have little bits of fool's gold in them, which is iron pyrite. And that is a mineral that's very rich in sulfur. When iron pyrite that's in the coal seams interacts with water, if it gets into the mine, it produces sulfuric acid. So that acidifies the water. When the water then sloshes out of the abandoned mine, its pH is incredibly acidic, very, very low pH. And that is almost impossible to survive in if you're a fish, or you're an amphibian, or you're an aquatic insect. So it's devastating to the stream ecology to have water that's that acidic. For fish and amphibians, they don't have a lot of the external armor that a lot of land creatures do, or birds with their feathers. So when there are pollutants and contaminants in the water, really it's not that difficult for that kind of stuff to make it into the bodies of small fish, even more so eggs. So egg masses of fish and of frogs and salamanders, they have water passing in and out of them all the time. Their membranes are porous, so anything that's in the water is going to affect those developing eggs, and that's where we see the effects of AMD the most. It limits the survivability of those eggs of fish and amphibians that are in the water.
So how would you say the pollution in Monday Creek affects people living around it?
Well, I think it connects to our enjoyment of our natural areas. Do you want to walk in a forest and hear a rich diversity of birds singing? Do you want to have a lot of animals and plants in your wild areas? Same thing goes for our aquatic areas. Do we want to have streams that are rich with fish and amphibians and insects, and that then sustains populations of birds that will come and use those species as food supplies? So I'm sure hopefully what you're learning in your science classes is that all of these things are connected. And so when you sweep out a low level of a house of cards, a lot of times the whole thing can come down. We don't have active coal mining going on here anymore. I'd say it wouldn't necessarily get worse over time. It's not going to improve very much, though. If water continues to percolate down into an abandoned mine, it will continue to get acidified by the pyrite that's in the coal seam. So the only way around that is to either cap the mine with some kind of dome that's watertight, so water can no longer get into it, or you can build a doser. I don't know if you know what a doser is, but it's basically a big silo that's filled with calcium carbonate, and that's a real alkaline material, and it sprinkles that material into the stream and kind of neutralizes some of the acidity there.
There's an artist that was actually reusing the iron oxide in some of these AMD sites and turning them into paint.
Yeah, there's a new business in Athens County called True Pigments, I want to say is the name of the office, started by a member of Rural Action, if you know about Rural Action. But their idea was to, collect all of this rusty material called yellow boy. I don't know if you know about yellow boy, but if you know our streams ever look orange, yellow boy is the orangey, reddish, basically rust that gets formed. When acidified water flows through a creek, it rusts the metals that are present in the rocks. And that's what makes that orangey color that we see in our streams. So it's that material that we nickname it yellow boy in stream ecology. That can then be used to make a palette of colors. Anything in kind of like the red, yellow world of colors. So it's a neat way to take something harmful that's going to be affecting the area for decades and finding a way to put some positivity to it. So all over the world, people are ordering these pigments, these paints from True Pigments, because it's powerful to them to create a piece of artwork that, is made that way.